Each one of us has a story. Our journey has and is continuously impacting us. By listening to my guests share how they are discovering their best self, you will discover the best part of you. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Discover Your Best Self podcast. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being here today. You guys, we have a very special guest. He's here talking about his travel organization company. And so what I want to do is let him introduce himself. So first of all, Kevin, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Thanks for having me, first of all. My name is Kevin Knight. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany, but grew up mainly in Louisiana and Texas.
Okay.
Started Urban Events Global around 2013, 2014-ish, and we travel.
Okay. So real quick, so you said you were born in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you there?
Not long enough.
Not long enough,
I
okay.
left a little bit after, I think, my first birthday.
Okay.
And then I was back and forth between Charleston, South Carolina, and kind of D.C. My mom was the one that was in the military.
Oh,
well, my
okay.
mom and dad, but my mom stayed in for 22 years.
Okay. So you were a military brat?
Military brat.
Okay.
My first passport was literally my baby picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been traveling ever since.
Okay. So that gave you the travel bug.
That gave me the travel bug. That and I had a really unique experience studying abroad when I was in college at the University of Texas. And I studied in Mexico for a mini semester.
Okay.
And that's what really kind of changed my life and my view on just travel and the world in general.
What was it that happened when you went on study abroad?
You're pretty ambitious. You're in college. You think you know the world a little bit. But I lived with a family. Me and a couple other people lived with a family. And we'd wake up in the morning, take the bus, we'd go to school. And then around noon, we'd go to lunch and then spend the rest of the day in the city.
Oh, okay.
And so there was a total of about 18 students. And so we had a couple of professors that would take us around, and you're living, breathing, like you're in that community. And some of the happiest people I'd ever seen to date in my life were the people in Guanajuato, Mexico, right?
Okay.
And these are also some of the poorest people that I've seen in my life. And so being able to see poor and happy all at the same time, I just didn't know it. I didn't know it existed like that. So it just changed the way I saw the world and what happiness really was. It wasn't the material things.
Sure.
It was actually just being around family, friends. And that just kind of really kicked it off. And I was like, I just have to travel more. I have to see what the rest of the world has to offer. And I continue to notice those things, 20 years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a epiphany of why you think that is?
Why these people are happy? Because they have everything they need, which is food, shelter, and family.
Right.
And most important, family.
Right.
And it kind of reminds me of like when I was in Charleston, South Carolina growing up, my grandparents lived in the hood. Like it's the hood.
Right.
But I thought we had it pretty good, So I was happy as a kid. I didn't know until I was older that was like a poor area.
Right.
So poor is kind of a mindset. Like you're taught that, without these material things, you're poor, so you shouldn't be happy.
Exactly.
But I was happy. I had pork and beans and rice on the table, grits on the table.
You were good.
I got dressed in front of a oven because that was our only heat in the house, but it seemed normal enough to me, so
right.
I was fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know, like, from our brief conversation, you told me that, your mom was a huge impact in your life, and so tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, my mom raised me, by herself, single parent mom in the military, did the best she can do with the resources we had.
Okay.
And we just have a great relationship.
Right.
She likes to travel. She's a free spirit. She supports any and everything I do.
Right.
Except for when I was like retiring from corporate America, she thought she thought something was wrong.
What was that conversation like? What's that?
I was driving across the Colorado River in Austin. I was like, Mom, I'm done.
Okay.
That was it. And she was like, done with what?
What are we
I'm
talking
like,
about?
Working for these people. I'm tired. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I've been doing this for 16 years in
Right.
financial services. Saved a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Right.
And then she was like, okay, but what's next? And she was like, and by the way, I'm coming to see you probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
So she came down tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah.
Opened up my laptop, showed her kind of what I was working on, showed her the math.
Right.
Showed her my bank account, which she'd
Right.
never seen before, and she was like, "Oh, okay, have fun."
I understand.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me the importance of having somebody like that support system. What if it wasn't that supportive?
I don't know. I can't. I wish I had a crystal ball, or maybe I don't wish I had a crystal ball to look back and see what path I would have taken had I not had a supportive parent. I literally have no idea.
You don't know.
But I know, given my options, everything seemed to work out pretty well.
But like, do you think sometimes if people don't have that support system, or somebody that's important to them who believes or whatever, to be like, oh,
Yes and no. I just had this conversation literally a couple days ago,
Okay.
and there's always going to be on the bell curve certain outliers, right? So you can have your, let's just say Jay-Z story when you come from nothing and you work your way up, but you also have a lot of Jay-Z stories that end up in jail or dead. So, I mean, then you have the people that come from the nice neighborhoods that grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth that end up on drugs or being what society would call losers or nothing. So I don't know.
Right.
I have friends that I went to college with that do well. I have some that didn't do as well or didn't end up going down the best path. So I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has your background been? I know you kind of briefly mentioned, financial background. What did you do before this?
I started off actually at American Express Financial Advisors, which is now Ameriprise. So that was back in 2000, 2001, got my Series 7 license, and I stuck around financial services for the next, basically until 2016. I've worked with AIG, Pacific Life. I've done work in private equity, but it's all been financial services related, mainly on the wholesale side, advising financial advisors. That would be the gist of it. I worked with TIAA CREF doing 403B plans, which for people that don't know, it's the equivalent of a 401k plan, just for, schools, nonprofits, hospitals, and stuff like that. And again, I had a good time, learned a lot during my time, but it just wasn't fun.
What's like the breaking point? Because I know a lot of people listening, they're going through, trying to figure out what it is that they want to do next, or how is it that this person can break away, or, and do their own thing and not be scared, or whatever it is, people don't want to let it go. What's the breaking point where it's like, I'm done?
I tell people all the time, first of all, don't quit your day job. Do your day job and your hobby until your hobby makes enough money to support whatever it is your lifestyle is. Now, you may have to take a step back in that lifestyle, and that's fine, but don't quit your day job.
Right.
But the breaking point came, I think I was physically tired.
Right.
And being that I was working on so many different projects, there weren't enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
I would forget to eat. It was getting unhealthy. For like 6 months. I just noticed like this isn't healthy, and something has to give. And it definitely wasn't going to be my fun. My fun wasn't going to give. So corporate America had to go.
It had to go. So, you kind of just touched on that as far as like building your company and also having a demanding job. Was it more or less like, as soon as I get off of work, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to work on my dream?
Yes. And while I was at work, I was working on my dream. And so I was kind of cheating I was cheating the companies that I was working for. And I noticed in my performance at work, I just wasn't as sharp as I used to be because I just didn't care. And I wasn't really giving 100%. The last company I worked for, I was probably giving like 20%. It was like, after 10 months, I just said, deuces, I gotta go. But you get home. Before you get home, while you're driving home, you're answering phone calls that you missed during the day, and then it's like one thing after the other, and then you can't really afford staff, so you're doing everything, which is good because I recommend people doing everything at first, so you value your staff once you're able to get that staff, and you know how to pay them well because you've done that job.
All of the roles.
You know the role, and so there's nothing that goes on at my company that I cannot do or that I haven't done.
Right.
There's certain things I just don't do anymore because I have staff, but if they leave, quit, or whatever, I could jump back in and do it at the blink of an eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I sometimes have to remind them of that. I could.
You're replaceable.
Everybody's replaceable.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So when you get to the point of building your company, well, first of all, let's just back up.
Let me back up for a second. The job everyone does is replaceable, but I do have staff that I would hate to see go, like Ashley. So I can't just say she's replaceable,
right?
Because she helps keep me in check and keeps the business going. So the things that she does for the company is
Right.
replaceable, but her personality and her likability and the way people gravitate toward her,
Right.
that's not replaceable.
Got
That's
it.
something that I'd have to search very hard to find somebody to replace her. So I don't want to say that the people are replaceable.
Got it.
Their job description is replaceable. Let's put it that way.
That makes sense.
Right.
People are valuable.
Yes.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's just back up for a second because I don't think we really got to talk about exactly what your business is.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us in a nutshell what your business is, and then I'll ask the next question.
My business is bringing African Americans out of the house on an airplane to travel and have fun
Okay.
as one big collective family.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it. So how do you make this lucrative?
How do you make it lucrative? I mean, you just put like anything else. You're putting on an event,
Right.
Like it's no different than putting on a concert. You know, why is Beyonce's concerts? Or why are they lucrative? Because she's performing. People are paying paying. So if she goes to let's say she goes to the Toyota Center, whether the Rockets are playing or Beyonce's playing, they sell tickets to come into the building.
Right.
It's just a different price depending on who's on stage, but you're selling
Exactly.
tickets to get into a building. When I do Urban Camp Weekend, you're purchasing a ticket for an experience, for an event. When we have our vacations to, St. Lucia or Ghana or Cape Town, South Africa, all the places we go, we're putting together the hotel packages, all the tours. I mean, you're putting it together, so obviously you add a little small administration fee to it, and you make money.
Okay. And so because your events are centered around like fun or
And of course, sponsors pay you too.
Exactly.
That's where, yeah.
And so, but like right, everything is about fun, kind
Absolutely.
of, right?
100% about fun.
All right.
Fun, and it's fun, but there's an educational component. So, for example, when we were in Ghana, we did tours during the day, like visited the
Okay.
slave castles, visited the W.B. Du Bois Center. But then at night, you have fun. You
Right.
turn up. So it's
Yeah.
like tours during the day, fun at night.
Right.
Or if it's fun during the day, then in the evening there may be some type of tour or networking event where you're bringing the people together. But there's going to be some fun on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel like you'll be burnt out from that? Or should I, maybe let me say,
Will it ever get old? I explain it like that. Like, will I be on every trip in the future? No. But if I'm not on the trip, I'm just sitting at home because I work from home. So why not go on the trip?
right,
You know,
right.
there are certain places that I will get tired of visiting.
Yeah.
And so, for example, I go to Cape Town, South Africa every year.
Okay.
So I don't go on the tours with the guests. My staff will go with them.
Okay.
I'll stay in the room, get some work done, or just go do my own thing.
Right.
I intend to start bringing my daughter on like, especially on that trip.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I could be with her
that'd be
during the
nice.
day, and then at night I could just give her over to her mom.
Right.
You know, and go turn up, and then come back and be with my daughter during
Right.
the day. So she's around, but I don't think it'll get old. It's like the CEO of Disney World is not playing at Disney every day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, does it get old? Like, you're just running a company, whether it's for, at home or on your laptop
Away,
somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
So, what's the impact that this journey has made on you, as far as like, because I can imagine being able to travel and see things, and it's not even just the travel; it's meeting the people, right? So you get to meet someone new every time that you're planning a trip, and so from what I can see, it looks like you're going somewhere every month,
Right.
multiple times a month.
Right.
So you're constantly meeting people. So what has that impact been on you personally?
I don't know if there's been anything different. Because since college we've been, taking road trips, traveling,
Yeah.
hanging out. You meet people on the party. I mean, you meet people everywhere.
Right.
It's afforded me the opportunity to connect more people because I could meet people that are in one line of work. Like, for example, when we were I'm going to use Ghana as another example, a young lady who was interested in like sports management, being a sports agent. I happened to have a conversation a week prior with another young lady in California that is doing something similar. I was able to just link them together literally the next day I returned, and they're already working together on a
Right.
project. So just being
Right.
able to be the middleman, the plug, connecting people, that type of stuff comes back to you manyfold. So as long as you keep connecting people, they'll remember you.
Right.
And when they remember you, they talk about your business. And when
Right.
they talk about your business, you get money. So
Is that what you want? You want to be remembered, right?
yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's like a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So if we just keep putting, water out there, everybody's going to rise to the top. It doesn't have to be crabs in a bucket. Yeah, and everyone will make money or find success. Because money may not be the successful part of it, but they'll find success. Whatever success means for you and your business, you'll reach it as long as you just keep putting that good energy out there, connecting people, and just being a good person.
Right. What's like the feedback that you've gotten from people that have gone on your trip for the first time?
It's like after the trip, I really enjoy like when they start posting the pictures and the comments, and then like I'll search like hashtag Urban Events Global just to see like not only what their caption says, but like as their friends are commenting, I'll read through the comments to see, and it's like, oh, I had a blast, I had a great time. I have like people really. I'm hesitating to say this, but it's hard to not have a good time. I mean, we had a young lady whose luggage was missing for 6 days. And she had
the
a blast.
whole time, basically.
Yeah. By the time she got her luggage, it was time to like go.
Yeah.
She had a blast.
Yeah.
We had a young lady who got her phone pickpocketed at the festival on the second day. She had a blast.
Yeah.
It's
the energy.
It's the energy, yeah.
Right.
And you have to also set expectations because you're not in America anymore.
Right.
So let's be clear. If you're going to Ghana, things happen slow. They don't start on time.
And a lot of people who are coming to these events or traveling, they haven't been out of the country.
It's probably 50-50, depending on the trip. If it's a Caribbean trip, we have more people that have traveled before. But these trips halfway around the world, to Africa, Thailand, Rio, sometimes there's a lot of their first time.
Okay. And so what's the expectation that you give an expectation?
Yeah, we sent out like a 14-page packet, like a welcome package, and for each country we visit, and some of it's safety, stuff, or letting them know about the customs of that area. But the expectation is we're going to have fun, but we're going to be safe. And we are going to be on time. So if I say like meet in the lobby at 8 o'clock in the morning, the tour buses are heading out. We're probably leaving at 8:05. Okay. We're not going to call your room. We're not going to call and check on you. We're just going to assume that you either wanted to sleep in, you're not interested in that tour, you're hungover. It doesn't matter. You're grown. It's a group trip, but we're not your babysitters.
Exactly.
But this bus will leave at 8:05 because if I don't set that expectation, then by day 2, day 3, day 4, people are moseying down 30 minutes late, 45 minutes late. Nah. Yeah. We're gonna leave you on the first day, so
Right. This is what's going on.
The next few days. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the expectations are. I don't know what everyone's individual expectation is, but we let them know in our group chat that we put together right before the trip of what our expectation is and the stuff that's on the agenda, and we anticipate everyone's going to have a good time. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, like when people get there, I'm assuming you have to be very organized. Yeah.
Very organized, and the staff is very organized.
Were you always an organized person? Now, I'm assuming that you were just because you grew up in a military
household. Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been pretty organized. I'm now more organized because you're dealing with other people's money. I could be unorganized in my own life because I can accept those consequences. If I'm late to something, I'm late to something.
Right.
If I miss the bus, I miss the bus. But if somebody paid me, $2,500. I need to make sure that they don't miss those. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this isn't. I'm responsible for all these other people at this point, and so it's different. And let's be clear, like our people will let you know. And I deal with thousands of our people every year that if something's not right, they'll let you know, and they'll call my cell phone at 24 hours a day. Everyone has my cell number. It's I don't have bill collectors, so I'm not afraid to give my number out. Right. I just answer the phone and try to help them as much as I can. But yeah, we stay pretty organized.
Okay. Yeah. So like if you had to suggest to someone starting a business, because yours has grown. Well, let's paint the picture right quick just so people can understand. When I say grown, what was it like when you first started compared to where it is now?
As it relates to what? Like
your business.
How was it when I first started?
As far as like the growth.
I mean, it's obviously grown, but
So like, for example, I guess, how long ago did you start?
Our first urban camp weekend which was our first urban event, global event, was 2011, 2012. Okay. And the reason why I don't, that date is not like stuck in my head because it wasn't urban camp weekend. It was literally me, my girlfriend, a couple of friends,
right,
kicking it, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to do it again the next year, but it grew from like 8 or 9 people to like 30 or 40 people.
Right.
And then it was like, hey, we could make a business out of this. And then it was like 200 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, 1,700 people. And now I'm going to scale it back because 1,700 people was a little too much.
It was too much.
For that venue. So I'm probably going to scale it back to like 1,400 this year for the summer.
Is that for the
urban camp weekend? In June. That's the one we do in New Braunfels, the camping trip.
Okay.
Is
that the largest event that you do?
Yes. Yeah. The quantity of people, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the level, or that's what I meant. So back to the original question, which was the level of organization from when you first started to where you have to be now to manage 1,400 people going out of town, and
the number of people doesn't really change the amount of work you do.
Okay.
So for example, on my schedule, it's, let's say Wednesday, contact the stage company, like the phone calls I have to make aren't going to change whether there's 500 people there or 2,000 people.
Got it.
I have to make the same phone calls. The only thing that changes are the amount of wristbands I have to order.
Got it.
I have more people.
Yeah.
The amount of time it takes for us to register those people, which is really an easy process. So the work doesn't really change. It's like boarding a flight, whether there's 50 people on that flight or 10 people on that flight. The amount of work that pilot has to do doesn't change based on the amount of people that are sitting behind him.
Sure.
Right.
So tell me, what is it that you value the most?
Family and friends.
Family and friends.
And my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does that have a direct reflection on your business?
I'm sure it does. To what extent, I don't know. But that's a good question. Does the time I spend with my family and friends have an impact on my business?
Or what you value? Because sometimes, right, like I'll meet people and they may not value as much heavily on their friends or whatever. It may just be like, money and my time, and so maybe their business reflects that.
Yeah, no, I mean, then in that case, yeah, it's reflective because I do events to bring people together.
I can see that.
To make friendships.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
It's kind of the way I feel about my family and friends is the same way I treat my guests.
Yeah.
And for the good or for the bad, I talk to our guests like I talk to my friends and family.
But that's what makes them come back.
Right.
That's part of the customer service. Right. So how big is customer service to you?
It's huge. It's funny. I just had a conversation with someone, and I was like, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying this, but the customer is not always right. Like I've never believed the customer is always right. I believe you should try to help the customer as much as possible, but they're not always right.
Okay.
And some of the questions you get as a young entrepreneur that people ask you are the questions that they wouldn't ask Walmart or Target or Hilton. They would just pay.
Yeah.
But they want to dissect your price, your this, your that. It's like, would you
do that?
Would you do that with someone else?
Yeah.
And so during those conversations, if it lasts more than 10 minutes, I lose some of my probably collective self because I'll just simply say, why does this matter? What does it matter? You either pay or you don't pay at some point.
It is what it is.
If you want your money back, that's cool, but we've spent more than 5 minutes on this. I'm not going to stay on the phone much longer. You want your money back? Okay.
Right.
I got to go.
So how do you balance, or what is balance to you? Because it feels like to me, it sounds like it's integrated.
Right. How do I balance? I mean, we travel a lot, but I have a lot of free time to spend. I spend more time with my family, especially like my mom. I see her way more often now than I used to when I was in corporate America. I might see my mom 4, 5, 6 times a year. Because the highlight of your business is when you're on the trip, and then when you're not there, you have more time to. I could work from my mom's house. I can work from I could work from anywhere. I don't have to be up at a certain time unless I'm catching a flight or on a specific event. There's no alarm room. There's no. I just wake up and get to work. Yeah.
Got it. So how do you rest? So if you're.
It depends. I have a 1-year-old.
Okay.
I rest when she rests.
Okay.
But if she's not around, I really don't like to sleep. My mom would always say when I was younger, like, Kevin, go to bed. You're not going to miss anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was going to miss something.
Yeah. And you still feel like that.
Being awake is fun.
Yeah.
What are you going to sleep for? I mean, I do get tired and I enjoy my rest when I get it. But being awake is fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you want to sleep all day?
Is that what you're going to tell your daughter when she wants to go to bed? When she's not going to bed?
I don't make her go to bed now. She's up with me, and I don't know. That's probably bad. When she starts school, I mean, she's 1.
I mean, is she going to go to traditional school or like homeschool since you're going to be traveling?
I want her to go to a traditional school.
Okay.
But, that's a conversation her mom and I will probably explore more. But I don't want to homeschool her. I want her to be around other kids.
Yeah.
I really want her to go to a good public school. I don't want her to go to a private school.
What's a good public school?
A diverse school that's representative of the society that we live in, where she could see and feel real world stuff, whether it's navigating high school and junior high can be difficult, especially for a young lady.
Yeah.
And then there's bullying and there's this and that. Well, you might as well get a good healthy dose of it young.
Yeah.
And then we could talk through it, as opposed to being 18, 19, 20 years old, trying to figure this out in college. Figure this out while you're under this roof, and I could kind of walk you through how to mitigate, because nothing changes. Like
the world is high school.
The world is high school. The world is junior
really
high.
is.
Nothing changes.
Yeah,
so
nothing changes.
Once you make it through junior high and high school, your corporate career is going to be the same. No matter what those people still exist.
So what's the difference between like public and private then, in your opinion?
Well, I didn't go to private, so I don't know.
Okay.
I only know what I think.
Sure.
And what I think is it's a more well-to-do portion of society, and that's just not the real world. The real world is this
everyone.
Good little public school that you're in. Now you're going to have some of the same problems, just maybe in a nastier way at a private school. I don't know, but I know that I'm not paying a lot of money for a private school when you can get a good education at home and in this public school.
Okay.
I'm not about to spend it's not worth it.
Not worth it. Okay.
And college is going to be. I don't know what college is going to be in 18 years.
First of all, it's ridiculously expensive now.
Right. I'm not worried about the price.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the conversation of, does she want to go or not?
Well, it's not necessarily worried about the price, but it's what are you getting for the price?
Right.
That's more my mindset.
I want her to go to college to network and make friends.
Yeah.
Grade second, like just pass.
Yeah.
You can make
I
all
understand.
C's. I care less. Like
Right.
make all C's. Just get a degree, but make friends.
Right.
Join student government. Join some organizations. Just make some friends. They're gonna come in handy in the future.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your GPA once you start working. Like,
Right.
can you make us money or not? Do you have a degree or not?
Period.
I don't care if you had a 4.0, 3 point, what dean's list you were on. It's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know. It's irrelevant in the long run, in my opinion. Now, it may matter if you plan on going to law school, med school, but if you're just going to get a bachelor's degree, just get a degree and get out of there and make some friends, and make some good friends, though.
Yeah.
Like, make quality friends.
Yeah.
Because they'll be around. Like
So-
the people I hang around now are all friends from high school or college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you say quality, what would you describe as? Because I think that's a huge part of, understanding your circle and where you want to be. What is quality?
You don't know what quality is until hindsight, and you won't have hindsight
Until you have somebody who's not quality.
And so just meet a lot of people, make a lot of like associates.
Yeah.
Some of the good people will just naturally become your genuine friend.
Right.
Friendships form organically in certain situations. But if you see, toxic people, that's a cool word, I guess, to use these days. If you see like
Cool
negative people in your life, then you just start getting rid of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you still have so many associates and friends, and you're going to meet other friends, like, friends of friends. So your one quality friend will probably introduce you to another quality friend.
Right.
On and on and on. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to weed them out, but I know if it's somebody around me that's kind of negative, I just get away from them.
Yeah.
Same thing on social media. If you
Yeah.
post something negative or it just doesn't put me in a good mood, I just either
Unfollow.
I don't block you, but I'll unfollow
Yeah.
you, or I'll like in Facebook you could hide their posts and all that stuff.
That's
so
good.
I hide that, so
Yeah,
I don't see any of their posts because nobody wants to wake up and see like some
I
Debbie
don't want
Downer
to see
stuff.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to delete you because then it's like now I'm a bad guy. But
Yeah. So quick question. Your events are centered around Black community, African Americans.
my events. Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah. They're centered around. Oh, finish your question.
Yeah.
First.
So they are. So just explain the reason for that. Like why was that your?
I got the question. I got
Okay.
it. So I just trying to. Well, I want to figure this out. How I want to say it because I don't know who's going to see this later. The whole world's going to see your podcast later.
I hope so.
I spent a lot of time faking a life that wasn't that exciting to me. Waking up and putting on a suit and tie and smiling for some of the people I was around, it was a show. It was a show that paid pretty well, but it was like I was acting.
Sure.
I don't have to act with the people that come to my event.
Right.
They're people that I would be around after I got off work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if I could be around them 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I did it.
Right.
I could do a travel company that reaches out to the whole world and make way more money, I guess, but I'd be faking it again.
Yeah.
I have friends of all races, ethnicities. Obviously, I went to the University of Texas. It's only 3 to 5% Black. Every school I went to was diverse because I was raised around military installations. But corporate America was just boring. I was in my mid-20s and I'm around 45 to 60-year-old men. We had nothing in common outside of work stuff that I could, but our lives weren't the same. That's boring.
Yeah.
And I have to be around you all day.
Nothing sexy about that.
Yeah, and I have to entertain. Like I have to entertain these clients, and like you're in sales, so you're courting these clients. You're taking them to dinners, and you're going to shows and this and that. I'm like, I don't even want to be around you.
Right.
Just because you're boring and you're an old guy. I want to be around my young friends that are going to parties later.
Yeah.
So it's like you come home, you take off your suit and tie, and then you throw on your regular clothes, and then you go hang out. I was like, well, I'd prefer to do that like all the time.
Right.
And so I went all the way blackety black. Just said urban. Just so you know, just so like it's urban events global, urban camp weekend, urban cruise weekend, urban excursion weekend,
urban.
Black travel tube. Like there's no question. So before you call me, before you email me, you already know if you're a sponsor. I don't care if it stops me from getting a big check from somebody. At least you know. Like I'm not going to waste your time.
But you know
it's
what?
blackety black.
That's what I like about you. You know what I mean? Because this is what it is, right? And so my question is, like a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to, block whatever, like you said, sponsorship. So have you ever had that scenario where a sponsor may be like, oh, well, are you going to include some other people, or they're okay with, because then they're infiltrating their...
No, I haven't, but that's not to say I haven't blocked my own blessings because because they didn't call. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know how many people didn't call because they saw Urban.
Yeah.
But I know the ones that I have done business with, whether it's Jack Daniels, Red Bull, Kind Bars. Like there's a lot of companies that do.
They want to get access to that community too.
Right.
So it's like it's still, you're still getting, it's still advantageous to you.
Right.
Yeah.
But at least I'm all about efficiency. I was an economics major and I'm all about saving time. I'm helping both of us save time by letting you know who my target audience is.
Sure.
So I'm saving you from calling me, emailing me. If you don't want to fool with us, that is okay with me.
That's fine.
I'll never know. You won't hurt my feelings because you never called.
Yeah.
Right.
So what advice would you give to people who are building, their business or just what they want to do, their success? Because we live in a world of instant messaging, Instagram, instant famous, whatever, instant success, but people don't see what the background is, right? You had to go through how many years of corporate?
16
years of corporate, and then building this, and now you're in a place where you love. Does everyone have to do that or go through that, or what's the... There's no
book. There's no path or secret to... there are some tools that can help you. My number one thing, I tell people all the time, learn social media.
Sure.
People are like, oh, I don't really do social media. You're dumb.
Yeah.
If you don't want to learn it, you're definitely blocking a blessing. I'm not saying you have to be on Facebook or Instagram all day, but it's a free tool.
Right.
no other place, no other time in history has it been this easy to reach people. I remember passing out flyers for Kappa Alpha Psi in college. We'd have to go to different step shows, go to different schools, wait outside, pass out flyers, put some flyers on people's cars. Now I could just hit a button while sitting on the toilet and reach 100,000 people.
Right.
Why wouldn't, like, from home? I could be holding my daughter and reaching out to a bunch of people at the same time. Why wouldn't you want to learn that?
Yeah.
And learn that world. I don't care if it's Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Meetup. Like, we're on all of those every single day. It's time consuming, but you're trying to build a business.
Yeah.
That's what you.
And so building that online presence, how do you do that? Like, what's the time that it takes? And is
a lot?
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But that's part of your job.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you would
just
do it
have
for
to do
anything
it.
else.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you spend 8 hours a day working for somebody else. Spend 8 hours a day learning social media. And then when your business grows, you pay someone else to do that. So you don't have to spend that much time.
Right.
But you can organize social media to where you can make it easier. You're not on there scrolling and swiping and typing all day long.
Right.
You kind of know what pictures you want to post each day. You may sit up on a Sunday, organize all your posts for a week or two. And all you have to do is just hit a button.
Yeah.
You know, Monday at 3 p.m., you get an alarm. Oh, hit a button.
Boom.
Send that.
There it
Send
is.
that. You know, reply back to some comments, reply back to, to some DMs.
Right.
And shut it down.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of time I personally spend on social media is actually not a lot of time a day. But I keep up with what's going on.
You know, one of the things that stuck out was, like, when I first met you, you told me, like, I like to be present, right? And so that, to me, is very important, because I think a lot of people lose that. And why is that significant? Like, when you say I like to be present, I'm not on my phone all day, whatever. Why do you say that?
You have to be in the moment, right? And so many years ago, I was in Paris and London, just kind of hanging out, me and my girlfriend at the time, and taking pictures and videos and this and that. And we had an amazing trip, but when I got back to look at the footage and try to make a little video and edit it myself, I was looking at it like, wow, I don't even remember being there. Like, wow, I said, we did that? I totally forgot. And I was like, never again. So, like, I just got back from Canada, 2 days ago? 2 days ago. I think I have 2 or 3 pictures in my phone from the whole entire trip.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there were some people with me that took some pictures and they sent them to me so I could post them on Instagram. But this phone took no pictures. Like, I think I have three pictures. I've been at my own events, Urban Camp Weekend. I get there on Wednesday, leave on Sunday. I may have 5 pictures in my phone.
Yeah.
You just have to be present. You know, that's why you're there.
Right. That's the whole point.
Like, and so Urban Camp Weekend, I usually hire about 4 to 5 photographers and videographers to take thousands of pictures.
Right.
That way, you can leave your phone. Like, we will get a picture of you. Yeah. Don't worry. We have drones. You will be captured.
Yeah.
If you want to take pictures, great. But just know, you don't have to.
Right.
We will capture you. Be in the moment. Have fun. Meet some people. Have a good time.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, obviously, my podcast is called Discover Your Best Self. And I thought this was very fitting for that, because, you know, a lot of times, well, for me, when I travel, it's another extension of yourself. You're learning, you're meeting new people. So tell me, what in your mind, what do you think does it mean to discover your best self?
Life is a continuous learning process, right? You always learn something about yourself. I learned something on the ride over here. You know, I was in an Uber sitting in traffic, and I was in a minivan. I knew I should have upgraded my Uber, but I was in a minivan.
What's wrong with the minivan?
What's wrong with it was I was sitting on the passenger side in the back. He decided to run a red light.
Oh no!
But there was a car, so we're stuck halfway out in the middle of the thing. Cars are honking at us.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm about to get hit. Like, if this car I can get hit.
Okay.
But I discovered a certain level of patience. I just put my head down, trust the process, and I just kept texting.
Yeah.
I think I was texting you saying I'm about to be late.
Yeah.
But you discover something getting off the airplane and standing in that customs line and just the different smells that you will smell with people that have been traveling for 16 plus hours from different countries. You learn a lot about your patience, your resolve, what you're willing to put up with, being in different environments.
Right.
It's hard to explain, but you learn something. I don't know what it is, but you learn something about yourself each day.
Yeah.
You learn about different person. You're around so many different personalities because on our international trips we have people from everywhere.
Yeah.
But we managed to somehow have a good time.
Yeah. And I'm sure the people that are on your trips, they walk away with a different appreciation for wherever it is they went.
They do. They definitely do. And that was the biggest feedback from our trip to Ghana for New Year's was just, and also it was Ghana. I mean, you're waking up and everybody around you is black.
Yeah.
Which for African Americans, that's not your norm.
It's not.
I don't care if you're in Houston, Atlanta,
I was
City,
a culture
DC.
shock just moving here from Ohio. Like, oh, great, people of color.
Right. I just talked to somebody from Ohio on the way here, but yeah, it's weird. It's not weird, but it's different.
Yes.
Especially for some of our first time travelers who have never been to a country with just all black people. From the staff to it doesn't matter where everyone was black. Yeah. So, but traveling, getting out, it's hard to not learn something about yourself.
Yeah.
Good or bad, or you learn how other people can be patient.
Yeah.
Like you're getting frustrated, but you see 50 other people on the bus that are just chilling. You're like, well, maybe I should just chill.
Maybe I should relax.
Yeah. They don't seem to be worried about it.
Yeah, calm down.
I'm tripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you just learn how to embrace who you are, but you embrace other people.
Yeah.
Other cultures.
Appreciation. Yeah. I appreciate that. So tell people where they can find you. I know you have a couple of different
UrbanEventsGlobal.com
Okay.
would be the best place. UrbanEventsGlobal.com. You look that up on anything and you'll find it, whether it's, again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest, UrbanEventsGlobal.com. Hashtag or the @ symbol. That's our website as well. That's where to find us.
And also, what's your next trip? What's your next excursion?
My personally or event-wise?
Event-wise.
Okay, as like personally, I'm going to the Super Bowl next week. 30-yard line tickets, baby.
Okay.
But we have Urban Cruise Weekend. That's at the end of February.
Okay.
We're
Where's
going
that
from
going?
New Orleans to Mexico. So it's our Mardi Gras cruise. So we're going from New Orleans to Mexico.
Cool.
What is that? February, March, April. I know we have Cape Town, South Africa. That's in July. We have Aruba. That's Labor Day weekend. We have 2 urban camp weekends, one in June, one in October. For New Year's, we're going to Dubai. I think I need to post that today, actually. Breaking news, Urban Events Global is going to Dubai, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't posted that yet. Barbados for crop over. That's like August-ish. That's it for the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a lot.
Yeah. And again, we just got back from MLK Ski Weekend in Canada. That was an amazing time. Yeah. That's it.
Well, that sounds exciting to me.
It's exciting
I'll
to
have
me.
to come on one of these trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah, I will.
So. And you got to pay full price.
Hey,
no,
listen.
I'm just messing with you. But yeah, no, we'd love to have you out. We'd love to have you, your guests, anybody come out.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Get my girls. We're going to have to come out. One of these trips. We'll come.
Girls trip.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it for coming on the podcast, sharing your story and your background and everything you have to offer. It really meant a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Thank you for listening to Discover Your Best Self. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Follow us on Instagram at Discover Your Best Self.